spiritual baddies, entrepreneurs, and everyone in between.
You're listening to the Embodiment Podcast, where we dig into who you are behind closed doors.
And even if you aren't an entrepreneur or on your spiritual journey, but you're looking for something to listen to while you're on the treadmill,
or on the road, or just looking for some new knowledge to gain, welcome.
I'm your co-host, Ashley Fry.
And I'm MANO series.
Okay. So today we... Yeah. Ready?
Wait, hold on. We'll start with something like this.
I flew off.
Okay, let's get you another one. Let's try it again.
Ready? Okay. This. Not the...
What is happening?
Wait, let me twin. Hello guys, welcome back.
To Embodiment! A year of embodiment!
Yes, so today is our celebration of a year. Sorry for that little spaz attack right there. Mano brought us coffees, but yesterday we had spoken about it and he was like, we should drink Red Bull. And I was like, I'm not going to drink Red Bull, but I'll bring you my favorite energy drink. And I thought I would be able to find 2 flavors of it, but I could only find one. So I grabbed an energy drink that we have not tried yet, that neither of us have tried yet, but it also is comparable to Rain, which is my favorite because it has 0 carbs, 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial colors.
Artificial colors.
But yeah, so Rain is my favorite. I love her to death. This one is our orange dreamsicle. So I got 2 cups for each of us, so we could pour into each and then both drink it. I don't need to try this, but like,
yeah,
I love
I've never
her.
tried that one.
I love her.
I've actually surprisingly, I've never tried Rain. I've never tried Bang, and I've never tried Red Bull.
You've never tried Red Bull.
I've never.
See, I
actually
worked...
no, that's a lie. Maybe I did try it when you were at Carmel one time.
Oh, you've definitely drank Red Bull with me. Yeah.
I
was gonna say I work in that industry,
yeah.
so like I kind of have to drink it sometimes because it's the only thing I have around me. But yeah, so I'm gonna crack the Rain first. Ready? Some ASMR.
Oh, yeah, that's so good. Okay, so that's both. Oh my gosh. Smell dust.
And my favorite flavor in the Rain, white gummy bear or the rainbow sherbet. They're amazing.
The Rain, so rainbow sherbet and gummy bear
And white gummy bear.
and white.
The one I have right here is orange dreamsicle, which is also really good, but we're making a mess.
Oh my gosh,
It smells good. Not me spilling all over myself. Now lick it.
if you watch it, like, what is going on? What is this episode?
We're having fun.
We're
It's
having
our
fun.
1 year.
This is our 1 year, 1 year anniversary. So guys, we're just going.
And no, we're not dating.
No, I mean we are at this.
No.
Us, actually, guys, we're here to announce.
No. There's a baby on the way. No, I'm kidding.
Us pulls up the photo. We're like,
I'm kidding. Okay, so
are you trying this one first?
Rain first.
Rain
Cheers.
first. Cheers. Okay. Oh,
How do you feel?
why does it taste? I did not think it was gonna taste like that. I thought it kind of gives me like Sprite vibes, but like a little more like creamsicle flavor, but like Sprite. I actually vibe with that.
It's like I can see where you get the Sprite. It's just not as like fizzy. It's got that like little bit, but it's not. Yeah.
No, exactly. I like it though. It's actually pretty good.
Okay. Now this is one that neither of us have tried.
Bang. Cheers.
In our mule cups. And this one's Sour Heads. I forgot to say the flavor Sour Heads.
I kind of like both of them. This one, I really like the sour head flavor though. Like,
It's kind of giving me like shampoo vibes.
It tastes like I like like whenever I drink something, I like it fizzy. Like I like drinking bubbly because it's fizzy.
Yeah.
But like
Bubbly.
Bubbly. Perrier. What was the other one? Oh, never mind. But like honestly, I like both of them. I feel like. Wait, I need to try this one.
I like them both.
I like them both.
I'm not gonna say I don't like the Bang. I'm just like, I ride for my rain.
Wait, let me try this one.
I also, because I'm familiar with the taste of rain, it's just
No, see now I can tell why you say shampoo.
yeah,
Because when you first drink it, you get like shampoo tone.
almost yeah.
Like
And it kind of sits. I don't know. The
And it
rain
sits a little
sits,
back
but
here.
not as much as the Bang sits in your.
yeah, yeah. Interesting. Okay. I'm like sponsor.
We're not sponsored.
Not sponsor. But you can sponsor us if you want. Bang and Rain Energy.
And Tim's.
That's it.
Not you saying you were gonna boycott
Oh.
Tim's.
No, you know what? This morning I was okay.
This is like recipe for a heart attack.
No, legit. Like,
Let's take it slow.
we do. No, knowing me, I drink really fast. I'm like,
Man, he's got his muscle milk
I think I got muscle milk here
on
too.
brand. Brand.
But when I was coming here, it was like legit. So I woke up in the morning. I woke up at 4 a.m. today. Okay. But
So we were awake at the same time again.
you were awake at 4 a.m. too?
I did not fall asleep until like 5:30.
Oh my God. The way I thought. Okay. Because I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, like originally, like when I woke up, I was like, oh, maybe
I was
like
eating my chicken breast at 4
post gym snack. But like, okay. So we both have been getting, to preface, me and Ashley have been getting like shit sleep for the past few days.
I wouldn't say it's like terrible, like shit, but it's very inconsistent and
Yeah.
it's very like unpredictable.
Which
Like I tell myself I'm gonna go to bed, I can't fall asleep for an hour. I finally fall asleep. I'm in the deepest sleep of my life, having the weirdest dream of my life,
Yeah.
and then I'm awake, and then I can't fall asleep, and I'm thinking about the dream that was happening, and then I fall asleep, and then I'm in the deepest sleep of my life, and then I'm awake. It's like it's so
No,
weird.
literally, that is so that the way you describe it is so accurate. Cause like I slept last night, and like I slept fine. It was chill, and then there were some points where I like was kind of like
Also,
conscious.
the first time in Mano's in my friendship, and he answers me at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. I answered, and you. I remember right as I answered, immediately you were like, "Oh my God," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then you said, "This is the first time. Why you awake right now?" And then I remember that's when we both were like, "Yo, we can't both can't."
I was baffled.
And then, yeah, today, so I woke up at 4 a.m. Then I was like, okay, no, you know what? I need to go back to sleep. So I went and I made tea. I was like, I'm going to drink some tea, whatever. I drank some tea, and then I was like, I'm going back to sleep. Then this is so funny. I put on Gary Vee on the TV, and I just fell asleep.
Of course.
So he's like talking about social media, whatever, and I was just like literally like, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to sleep. And then I was going back to sleep, whatever. And then I went back to sleep till 7:30.
Yeah.
I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. And I was like, actually, I'm not, because I feel like I've been sick for the past few days, like sore and like
Like
just
she's pregnant.
yeah, like yeah, exactly. I'm actually expecting, like when I said that we were doing an announcement, like it's actually me that's announcing. but
Oh, God. Yo, you said that like a champ. Like you said that so confidently.
yeah, because you know it's my baby. So I was gonna go to the gym, and then I was like, okay, and I have no energy. I was like, if I go to the gym, it's not gonna be a good workout. So I was like, I'm just gonna whatever. I'll take it easy today.
I went to the gym without drinking an energy drink for the first time since I've gotten myself back into it.
No, and you're getting back into it like consistently now. You're going like a lot.
Yeah,
You need to start going with me again. You need to go again.
I know.
You need to take me to your leg days. Her leg days are really good.
I would actually love no, but you know what? So what I'm doing right now, because of my back and just because I don't have the best functional core or like pelvic floor muscles. So what I'm doing, and because I'm getting back into it too, I'm not lifting heavy. I'm kind of doing more like body movement and stuff. So what I've been doing a lot recently, because it kind of works my whole body, is I'll take like 2 kettlebells, like 220s, and I'll do like my little deadlifts with them into squats, but I'll hold the kettlebells up here. So like I'll deadlift and then I'll swing them up and then squat. And then
that sounds tough.
yeah, my like, and this is what I'm doing every time, but then I'm also going and like I'm doing dead hangs so I can like stretch up my back, but also work my shoulder muscles because I like right now, I don't know, I worked my legs for so long that that my legs were really strong, but it didn't kind of match up with the strength of the rest of my body. And my legs have just always been naturally stronger because of hockey and because of other things. So, sorry, I was checking the mic because whenever I talk, okay,
Let me just make sure.
No,
Is it good? Okay.
yeah, it's just I talk a lot quieter than you. But yeah, so my legs have just been naturally a lot stronger since I played hockey. So then me doing leg days to try and reshape my muscles and everything and work the muscles that I didn't work in hockey because I was always quad dominant. It just like made an imbalance in my body, and I had a strong upper body. It just wasn't like a functionally strong upper body. It was like I could lift heavy, but like I'm hurting my back in doing that, or like not using my core properly in doing that. So yeah, right now I'm really trying to not lift heavy, but target moving my body with a bit of weight. And then I haven't been doing it, but I want to do Pilates again because last year I was doing it, and that really helped my core just because, I don't know, like dancers and people like that, like they do their stretches, they do the movement in their body and everything, right? But because I played hockey, it wasn't like that. Like we did our stretches and our warm-ups and everything at the beginning, but you're not using your core the same way that you would be using it for like dance or something, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at. Sorry, that was a little tangent about the gym.
No. But fair enough. It's like at least you were able to reflect on like what you're starting to do and how you're trying to get back into it.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's important also. Like,
well, I've built up the muscles when it comes to like my legs or like my glutes or like my arms and stuff.
Memory.
Exactly. So if I'm just moving my body and getting like loosening the muscles that are too tight, etc., and like reactivating the muscles that have maybe shrunk a little bit, then it's like I'm still gonna be toned. I just have to focus on actually moving my body, and so I'm not like doing something and like
yeah.
Like slam the fucking door. Jesus,
I felt like Darnell was coming back or something.
No.
I was like,
they're doing laundry.
Oh, so the laundry which was
down
whole
here.
house
Yeah.
is down here.
Yeah.
Oh, so you see, so random people just come in. So
What
but
random
this door like locks.
So you know how I picked up the package from the upstairs door? That door has the same key as that door.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. And then this door inside. Do you ever you keep this door locked? I'm assuming. If I'm not.
It's just that extra step.
Oh, you're like no.
But like the people in my house, like no, I've never had an issue with any of them. So
Okay,
it's like if I leave and I'm leaving for hours, yeah, I'll lock it. But if I'm I'm not gonna lock the second door. It's just,
because the
or if
first
I'm
door's
running to shoppers, like I'm not gonna lock the
Oh,
second-
yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. No, I indeed do that with my apartment. I always like every time I'll leave if I'm going downstairs, I won't. But like if I'm like going out for like a bit, like to go to like shop to like eat instead or something, I literally will lock my door and I'm like,
It's just really convenient because the second door locks on its own. Right.
Yeah.
So nobody can even like try and get into my house if I shut that front door.
yeah,
So
yeah. See,
I really think twice about it.
No, I mean fair. As long as it's, like nothing bad's happened, which is good.
Yeah.
So I mean that's all that matters. Yeah. Literally knock on wood. Hey, it's our 1 year episode. So at this point, we have no bad energy. We're getting out of this November 2nd. We're getting out of this toxic energy. Apparently this weekend. Well, actually no, you guys won't see this.
I heard, yeah,
They'll see this. They'll see this actually after
Halloween weekend.
after Hell Weekend after it ends.
It'll be next weekend.
It'll be next week.
Yeah, so we're filming this a week early.
Yeah.
But it's still, that means we would have been planning at this point last year.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, take in, like, I always think of this because everyone always asks me, they're like, so, like, because every time I meet someone, they're like, what do you do? And they follow me on Instagram, whatever. They're like, you have a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it. And like, they're like, how long have you been doing it? I'm like, a year. And they're like, oh, so what made you, like, how'd you start it? And
I want to know what you say to people.
I literally tell them this. I literally go, well, it's a funny story because I always say the hardest part of anything is just starting. And when we started this podcast, it was me and this girl. At that point, I did not know her that well.
I've known him for like maybe 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks. Like literally, like maybe 2 weeks we knew each other. And I remember it was like, okay, we were in the same entrepreneurship class. And I remember I hadn't even met you before. Like I messaged you on WhatsApp. Because I was like, oh, hey, whatever. I saw you on the online board, whatever. You should be in our group. And that's what, like, whatever. We became a group. She missed the first week, came the second week. And then we were talking. And we started talking, like, going on the topic of just podcasts and how we love listening to podcasts. And, like, essentially just how they help us grow. And then we went down the tangent of, like, wow, I've always wanted to start a podcast. And then both of us were saying that.
I looked at you when we were walking. We weren't even talking about podcasts.
No, we were in the classroom.
No, we weren't.
Yeah, we were
But
that was after. But before what happened was we were in the classroom. And then this is what happened. We were sitting beside each other in Brad's class.
talking about our Apple Watches.
Like talking about all this stuff. And then you were telling me how you listen to podcasts, and I was like, yeah, I love like the prospect of like podcasts and like just doing one. And you're like, yeah, I've always wanted to do one with my friend Ryan. And then we were sitting.
Oh yeah,
and
I told you that it just wouldn't have worked out because of
BC. And then you were like, would you like? I think you were like, we should start one. No, you said we should start one, and I was like, I'm down. And you turned, and you were like, wait, really? And I was like, yeah, why not? And you were like, wait, like, are you actually serious? And I was like, yeah, why not?
My trust issues kicked in. Are you sure?
And then we literally, like, that same day,
we went literally 6 hours later.
Not even 6 hours, then this was when we walked to Young Dundas, and we were, like, chilling in Young Dundas talking.
That was when I came up with the title.
You were like, I've always wanted to name my podcast.
I was listening to another podcast. I think it was another podcast. And I was walking home from either school or the gym. Like, it was dark outside. It was probably like 9:30, 10, maybe 11 p.m. I was walking on College. And I just remember walking by university and just like strolling. And then I heard somebody say, embodiment, what does it mean to you? And so I was listening to their answers. And then I was thinking about like their answers, but then how I felt about it. And that's where the who you are behind closed doors came to me. Because I was like, embodiment, who you are behind closed doors. And I remember like going and I was like, gonna post a story on my Instagram and be like, word of the day, embodiment, who you are behind closed doors. And I like saved like 3 drafts about it. But then I was like, no, like I don't think it should be a story post. And then when you and I decided this, I was like, that's what it is. That's what it needed to be.
Because I remember because we were talking, you were like, yeah, there's this name. What is it? And you were like, oh, you're right. You're like embodiment who you are behind closed doors. And I was like, bet, let's do it.
Yeah.
We go home. I remember you went back to your place here, and then I went back to my place. And literally, we started the Canva designs. We set up all the platforms.
You had the document ready with. No, so what you did is you went and you did the research regarding like what platforms are for podcasts and stuff, and you put them all out there. And I went through them after, and then immediately I signed up for Buzzsprout.
Yeah.
And then I started the like actual like Canva art.
Yeah.
I sent it to you, and you were like, "No, wait, let me do this." You fixed it up. And everything. I went and I pulled the photos of us and I made the PNGs of them. And I was like, we're putting this on here.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like it was really cute to have
it's just like
us coming out of the closed doors.
No, that's why. Because I remember when you first did it, it was the space theme.
Yeah.
Like the galaxy. And then.
Well, because we talked about it and we were like, what topics do we want to do? What can we relate on?
Yeah.
And it came down to entrepreneurship, mindset, and spirituality. And once we figured that out, there was no really like thinking any more about it. We were like, okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. And that's something that we both felt like we could stick to it, right? So the galaxy and the purple, like purple represents, I think it represents spirituality, right?
And wisdom.
Yeah. And so that kind of just like the galaxy vibe kind of just like worked out with it perfectly. Like, I don't know. It was one of those things, and I reflect back on it, and it was very much a moment that proved to me that when you follow your intuition, things work out in your favor, right? So it was like...
when you get started.
Exactly. But I asked you, and you were like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, Ashley, just trust it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of this happened, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. What do you know? Like literally within the next week, we had our intro filmed and everything, and we had planned our first like 3 documents and stuff. And
That was I remember that. That was like and literally I remember the
It's
first
so
episode
weird
went
to think
live
about.
November 4th. Like
Yeah.
that's the first, because I remember we used to post on Fridays. Like Friday used to be our day for posting, which is why this year it's on Saturday.
this is why we're
It skipped one
putting this out on a Saturday.
on a Saturday, because like essentially November 4th is our like anniversary of the podcast, because that's the first time the episode actually came out. But like I think we actually decided.
I think we filmed on the 31st. Because
No,
I
I think
remember
we-
having the
I think we
31st
filmed
in my
on-
head.
I don't think we filmed on Halloween, did we? On Halloween.
I think so. Or maybe that was the day that we did the intro.
Oh, maybe.
Because we didn't upload our podcast
No.
episode right away.
No, we had the intro. We made the
I remember the
outro. I remember we
31st.
filmed both.
The 31st is significant in my head regarding the podcast. I don't know why. Let me look.
Yeah, maybe because like I remember on the 31st. I don't know if I was in Whitby or if I was here on the 31st. Was I for Halloween?
Well, because it would have been on Monday.
Wait, did I celebrate Halloween here? Oh, maybe I did actually. Maybe I did.
Here, really quickly.
That actually makes sense. I think I did actually celebrate Halloween.
No, yeah, because I didn't even remember what I did for Halloween last year, and then I realized I went to a thing with Jamie last year.
You went to I remember you were a double,
Yeah.
right?
Pardon?
You were a double.
Yes, that was the night I was a double. Okay, what day is it?
And I remember you went
The 29th. Okay, that was the 29th.
The 29th, okay.
So then the 31st. Oh no, that's November 3rd. Oh. No. We recorded our first episode on the 2nd.
Why? I was gonna say that. I was gonna be like, why do I feel like it's the second that we filmed the episode? Because like
No,
something was
but the
filmed on the
31st we did film the
Yeah,
intro.
so we filmed the intro on the-
on I knew it.
second.
I
So we
knew
filmed
it.
the intro on the 31st.
Look at us.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you can see
that.
this, but I'll put it up here if anything. I'm gonna save that.
That is so no. See, that's what I love about this. Is like the journey. Like, just taken a year ago, we were just getting started. Like,
Yeah. Isn't that
oh my god! I
crazy?
remember the day we decided you went and you bought mics, or you bought a mic.
Yeah, I ordered it right away.
Right away.
I ordered it right away after we like made our document.
yeah.
Everything.
That is crazy. And I remember like everyone started listening. They were like, "Oh my god, I love this." Blah, blah.
You know what I was thinking about last night? Like, sorry, I guess this morning as I was falling.
Yeah, you're falling asleep literally.
I was thinking about how I've like always been like not terrible with tech. Like I can figure it out. Like we're all Gen Zs,
Yeah.
right? Not we're all Gen Zs, but I'm a Gen Z.
Yeah, we're
so, like
yeah.
we just figure it out, right? And I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, I've acquired a lot of tech stuff over the last year.
No, legit. Like
My house is lashes, bed, clothes, makeup, and tech stuff.
if you guys saw the setup right now, like, I mean, when. Oh wait, no. Shay's episode is gonna be out by the time we post
Yeah.
this. Okay, so then what? Shay took a photo with the setup, kind of, and like you can see, like we have a ring light, we have a place for our camera, which is my phone, and me and Ashley's phones. We have our recording set up. We have the mic stands. Everything's plugged in. Like it's literally like a podcast studio. Like when people ask me, "Where do you film your podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, we have a podcast studio," and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, we have a podcast studio."
My lash room.
Because like you like, well, if people watch our
But, like, it
videos,
doubles-
it
it
literally
doubles-
looks like it.
yeah.
Like this is a podcast studio essentially.
Yeah, we're in my living room right now.
Yeah.
My
A
apartment
studio.
is our studio.
Yeah, I mean, because there's room and like it's just Ashley's house is also designed in like a nice vibe. I feel like obviously as we grow, we'll probably get our own place. Like we were talking about that.
Figure.
Yeah.
Can you grab that?
From what?
Look at the wall.
What?
Oh, look at the wall.
Oh,
Oh, that was so loud. Sorry.
Ashley's house is so aesthetic. There's a hair.
It's probably for me setting up the mic, to be honest.
Yeah. It probably got stuck or something.
I
but
washed my
they
hair
took
last
it.
night, so my hair is just like super like
Oh,
like
same,
that.
same.
falling out.
I showered. No, last
Shut
night
up.
I had to shower because I was like, I need to like cleanse my soul.
No, trust me. I was like, we're recording our 1 year tomorrow. I need to shower. I need to wash my hair. I need to prepare myself. And I put oil in my hair so it wouldn't be frizzy because I slept on wet hair. But
Yeah.
frizzy.
You should get there's like silk hair masks that you can wear that like
So I have silk pillowcases, and usually it works. I don't know why it didn't work. Maybe it's because I'm sleeping funky. I don't know, but
probably why.
yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Anyways, okay, so 1 year episode. I'm gonna pull up. Shout out to Michelle, or as Mano likes to say, Michelle.
Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle, Ariana, Ryan, and I don't know who that other person is. That's your friend.
Was it? Let me see.
Alan?
Oh, Alan. Yeah.
Sorry,
And Alan.
And
Alan supports. Alan's always up in our comments on our podcast, so we appreciate you,
Yes.
bro.
So we decided to go with kind of everything that you guys had said because they all kind of corresponded. So let's start off with what Ariana said, and that's where you were a year before this versus now. So I think we kind of
We kind of went over that.
went over that a little bit, yeah. So over the past year, we've acquired a lot of different things for this. We've
media skills.
definitely
Media
producing skills.
producing skills. And I also think that like in terms of our professionalism, it's also increased, and like the way that
and
we
confidence,
right? But also the way we speak.
Like, I'm not even gonna, yes, it's definitely, I still feel as though there's areas that we could improve on.
Like no ums and ahs.
Exactly.
You know?
But I also listen to us speak, and I, like, when I'm listening to the podcast back and editing them, and it is a lot better. We're a lot more conscious of what we're saying, and even though there are some times where we say like an we still slow down. Well, I slow down. You don't slow down.
I'm like,
sometimes you need to slow down a bit more. But
yeah.
You get what you're trying to say out, and that's really important. Right.
But no, I feel like, and also I remember when we started this,
Just slow down.
we originally said it was part of the reason we wanted to start this podcast was because we wanted to improve our speaking skills.
Yeah.
And then also just improve our storytelling abilities.
Yeah.
And I think that we've been able to do that just in terms of like every episode. Like we've produced 52 episodes now. Just take that, probably even more.
53
episodes at this point.
Yeah.
So like
they're just not all released.
But like
edited.
or
I'll get there.
but
my computer can't keep up with mine.
Yeah, I know. There's so much. We need an editor. This is gonna take me into another thing afterwards. Like I'm also gonna ask something else. But for now, what I'm gonna say is I think a year ago we said to ourselves like, in a year from now we're going to be better than we were right now when we're first starting. And I feel like we've both grown.
And I'm gonna point something out too. And the thing about being consistent with one thing is it kind of transpires into the rest of your life too, right? Yeah. And so saying that we've improved in our speaking skills and everything, you've always been very confident in your speaking and your presenting and everything. And yes, we kind of shit the brick with this one too, but we both had a presentation last week. Or it was this week, actually, earlier this week.
Yeah.
Shit the brick a little bit, but that was just like content-wise. But
our delivery was good.
I was going to say, Mano and I it wasn't something that we really prepared. We didn't have any talking points.
No.
We just made our slides and we went up there and we spoke. And I felt like I could have been a little bit more comfortable. But if I were to think about that versus how I've presented in the past, I didn't let myself get nervous before. I was like, I had no doubt about it. And we went up there and I might have stuttered once or twice, but I didn't hold on to that stutter as I presented and let myself shit bricks even more, right? And you as well. Constant flow. I feel like we looked at each other maybe 2 or 3 times just as like, okay, you got this.
Like you got the,
yeah. But besides that, it shows how when you work on one thing and you really focus on it, like 53 episodes, that's recording
every
weekly.
Week.
That's editing videos weekly. That's speaking for at least an hour weekly. That's also planning when you're going to be speaking for that hour. That's also talking about it after, like fixing the nitty gritties. That's a lot of effort, right? Like that is a lot. And yeah, maybe there's been like 1 or 2 times where we've been a little bit early or a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
And that's
But
okay.
we've always posted.
Yeah.
We've never missed a week.
Yeah.
And like, what was I gonna say?
There was one week where I thought I had uploaded it. And
and then it was like,
yeah, so technically we kind of did miss a week, so this will make up for it. But so I didn't realize until the next week when I was going to upload the next one that it hadn't uploaded properly, but our YouTube video was up, so I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, so it just really shows, and that could be with anything. If you are working on something for, even if it's an hour a week, you're working on it for an hour a week, right? Like we probably put in at least 4 hours a week into this when it comes to planning and all of that, setting up, recording. Actually, no, that's a lot. It's definitely more than 4 hours, but say the general 4 hours at least.
Oh yeah, just take in though, because like we usually film on Wednesdays. Well, now we film on Wednesdays. So like around 3 we come here. We're usually here from like 3 to like 8 or like 10.
It depends.
Like it depends,
and
but
like that whole time we're not just specifically doing recording.
No, we're like planning.
But
we're talking about future things, what we want to do, who we want to have on the podcast, like updates in terms of like communication with guests. Like it's everything.
Also just catching up with each other.
Yeah,
right. Because I feel like we're so busy that when we talk about stuff, sometimes we forget to be like, "How you doing?"
Yeah, right. But also, that's another point. We stayed consistent. Even though our schedules are probably like the most hectic schedule.
They were also polar opposites.
Yeah.
For the longest time, for like 5 months. Like you were up at 7 a.m. and I was going to sleep at 7 a.m.
No, literally. So then it would be like we'd have to film right before your work. So it was like right at like 7 p.m. or like something like that.
Or like 4 p.m.
Or like
right after I woke up. Right, then I have to go to work after. Yeah.
I remember that was a big during the summer. Yeah. Just because like you were obviously working so late all the time. Like it was like your job as a bartender.
Yeah.
But like just even with all of that and like so stringent, like we still made time to film every episode. Even
I'm proud of us. I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, I think that like that takes commitment.
Yeah.
Just even being like, because like, it would have been so easy for us to just say like, no, like let's just skip this week and we'll come back next week. It could like it's so easy to just do that. Be like, no, actually, well, let's do it next week. But the fact that we always were like, no, we need to film. We need to find a time. Like, let's work around this and find a time to do it. Like that.
Sometimes it's, and I think this is what I really love about the way that you and I have developed our friendship and just developed our work habits around each other, is maybe 1 week I'm pushing a little bit more. Maybe 1 week I'm like, hey, we need to film. And you're like, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, we need to get it out by this day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe the next week I'm not in the best energy or something. And you're like, no, we need to do this like right now or whatever, because I don't have time, this, and this.
Yeah.
And so it's a really good balance between push and pull. It's like a really good counterbalance. Let's keep playing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's really cool because we started this not knowing a lot of about each other, but putting a lot of trust into each other and acknowledging it was like you and I kind of looked at each other and we saw a mirror almost when it came to accountability and just our work ethic and commitment and stuff. And it's really cool to see how that's like developed over the year and where we're at now and how we can actually like sit here and talk about that and say, no, like we've been doing this for a year now. Now we have a year under our belt and maybe we don't know everything. We're not going to know everything.
No, we're not expert at Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we're not Joe Rogan at all.
Not yet.
But now we have the skills to confidently like walk into a room. And there were some times where maybe we were like 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 30 weeks in, and I'd be like, yeah, I have a podcast. But it wouldn't be like, yeah, I've been having a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And so now we're at the point where we really can be like,
we have a podcast.
like I have a podcast. There's 53 episodes there if you want to go check any of them out. And it's just going to keep growing too. And I was looking at the Science and Spirituality podcast the other day, and they're at like early 200s, I think. So we're already a quarter way of where they're at, and they're a really established podcast with like hundreds of thousands of downloads. So
That's crazy. I mean, hey, we're coming there soon. Like at this point, sure, we celebrated 2,000 downloads, but I think it's a good milestone in terms of like consistency and just growth in general. Because like back in March, I believe that's when we hit. Yeah, back in March we hit 1,000 downloads, and then 6 months after that we hit 2,000 downloads.
yeah,
So like it just shows the growth, but it also shows that like, I mean, also we're just always gonna find new ways.
yeah. And I think it's really important. We've talked about this too, is to celebrate those smaller milestones, right? Because like, if you think about it, the first time you got the donuts, and then this time, I don't think you really thought about doing anything for the 2000, but I was like, no, he did this last time, I'm gonna do this time.
So it was like,
And so it keeps it exciting for both of us and for the people watching to be like, oh, hey, like you should be celebrating your accomplishments, right? And 2,000 downloads might not be 80,000 downloads, but it's our second stepping stone to getting there.
But also take in like, our podcasts are usually around an hour long. To have 2,000 people listen to an hour long of content, like of us talking, imagine
2,000 hours of us talking.
2,000 hours of us talking. It could like take that in. We are like, there's some merit to us that like tells us, like, hey, we are interesting enough that people are listening 2 hours, and we appreciate that so much.
Even if you're not listening to the whole episode, you're still sitting there and saying, you know what, maybe I'm going to sit here and take a listen and see if they have anything good to say. And like, that means something.
It does. And I think segueing into like a good sense, because I know we've talked about this a lot, but we're going to be like obviously creating a lot of new content styles of the ways we want to do the podcast to like see what we can.
And that's another thing too, is now that we have everything else that we've been figuring out for the last year under our belt, it's going to make it a lot easier to take on the extra work of posting more content and creating more content.
Also,
this stuff feels easier, right?
And you know what I was just going to say that just popped in my head? If we look a year back versus now, we always said we should start doing video. We need to start doing video. And then
the goal was summer, but then you lived in Whitby.
The goal was summer. And
he's like, yeah, I'm going to come down every week. We'll film our podcast, and then we'll go to the fashion workshops. Comes down twice. Once is for my birthday.
Yeah.
The other is not with me.
So that's why I was like, yeah, no.
Whoa.
But yes, like to see that right now we're actually filming the podcast, like we're actually filming it. It's like that we've already accomplished one of our goals. One of our goals was to start filming the podcast and posting it on YouTube and then start posting consistent content. Our next goal is probably going to be like posting on multiple platforms. So it's not just one platform, right? But like, I guess that's a good thing into what I was going to ask, which is let's talk about our goals for the next year. Like, what do we want to accomplish?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What?
Wait, sorry.
You can't look at your watch and say, oh my God, and not share.
Because, so back when I was doing web design, like way more full time, like when I was like, because you guys have heard my story about e-commerce, of doing all the e-commerce stuff and then going into web design and doing web services and whatever. When I was doing web services more like on a consistent basis, where it was like I was like outreaching new clients, and I had like multiple clients at once, and they were on retainers and all this crap. I had this one client from Vaughan who was a DIY clothing retailer.
Okay.
And they wanted a website, so I built them a website, whatever, and then they like had it for a few years, whatever, and I didn't hear back from them for a while. The woman who owns the brand just texted me right now. I didn't read it, but she just texted me. She's like, "Hey, Manuel, hope you're doing well. It's blank and blank from, it's like blank whatever." I'm not reading the whole thing, but it's like a long thing. So I'm like, the fact that she just randomly texted me for a few years. So I mean, you know what?
I can get our clothing brand going.
Maybe get our clothing brand going. I mean, you never know.
There's another goal.
So let's go over that. What What are you?
We'll just start drinking all 3 of your drinks because these better be done by the end of this. We better be like bouncing off the walls. Yeah.
Okay.
You were the one who said, let's like drink energy drinks and be hyped up. He's literally like, we need Red Bulls. I want us to be bouncing off the walls. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
we won't get Red Bulls because they won't actually make us bounce off the walls, but
No, I also need this energy for later too. Cheers.
that was so satisfying.
Okay, what would you say are your top 3 goals for the podcast within this next year? We're gonna hold ourselves accountable and get you guys to hold us accountable too.
So if I look at what we've reached in this last year and how we doubled our, I think we hit our goal. I think our goal was 2,000, but to see how we doubled it after 6 months, I think if we were to triple what we're at now would be amazing. So to hit 6,000 by the end of, but again, that like 10,000 would also be a great goal, right? Because if we're producing more content, we're putting out this many more episodes, like that would be 8,000 in a year if we hit 10,000. So I think I'd be happy with 6,000, but 10,000 would be amazing. 10,000 is going to be amazing.
Okay.
So that's a big one.
10,000, I like that. I think we can even like do more than that. I mean, it depends on how broad our outreach is. Like if we are
Like a dog.
Yeah, I know. Literally, I hear like once I hear a sound, I'm like,
It's okay. It was just such a fast head movement.
I always do that. Whenever I hear like any noise like in my apartment too, like on the streets, I'm always like,
No, it's like a hyperactive thing. I do it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to stop moving your neck so much.
yeah, no, I'm always
It's like the ADHD, like, yeah.
my ADHD is always like bouncing off the walls. Which why I'm like, energy drinks don't really affect me to be honest.
Just wait till the end of this. The coffee and
The coffee, yeah, and the muscle milk. Yes,
Your eyes are gonna be fried open.
I'm like, yeah, I think that
10,000? That's one.
That's
goal.
one. Okay, what are your other 2?
Other 2, by the end of this year, I want our Instagram to have grown, like our podcast Instagram. But I also want it to be something where you and I have built up a huge selection of content under our own personal reels, whether it's collaborating with our embodied hosts or it's creating our own content. I don't want to put a number on that either, on like personal followers or Instagram followers, because I don't want us to like put a cap on that, right? Because I was scrolling on Instagram, or I got a notification from Instagram, and somebody that I knew in first year of university, who I was never close to, but like we had like crossed paths a couple of times, and you know, like you meet someone and like you had like a good conversation with them and they just like, you just remember them well, right? And so I saw his name on my phone and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go like click and check. He has like 80,000 followers now and he like posts his real, like he makes music. So he's got like a niche of content, but he makes reels just regular. They're not all on his page, right? Like they're under the reels section. So I was looking at that and I was like, okay, this is something that we both need to integrate. So then we can grow, because embodiment, and I think this is why I love this podcast so much and love doing it with you, is embodiment is a brand in itself. And it's something that I feel as though you and I can relate to really hard, or not relate to, but can, what's the word?
Associate with?
Associate? No, there's what's the word? Resonate. There we go. I was like, not relate. But you and I can both resonate with really hard because of that initial thing we saw in each other and how it's come full circle and we're here and it's grown but we can also sit there and say, no, we still need to grow this, this, and this. So embodiment in itself is like a whole brand. And then you've got your business, like the intent group. And intent and embodiment kind of go hand in hand, right?
And then you have
And now
Beauty Lounge.
yes, and now I've shifted from my Dream Lash by Ash, which was more focused on the name versus the actual brand of it and the meaning behind it, into Embodied Beauty, which is more meaningful to me, and it aligns with everything that I've been working on in the past year. So, end of it all,
But can we take it, no?
I think it would be really important for us to grow that, because it's about branding.
Exactly.
Right?
And let's just take it. I'm just thinking of it. Our embodiment podcast brand colors are literally like purple, pink, and like galactic, I guess you could say. Okay? Intense colors are literally like purple and white and gold. And then Embodied Beauty Lounge is like pink and white, you'd say? Pink, white,
black.
white, black. So like,
but yeah, and then the embodiment is like purple, white, black-ish, right?
yeah. So they all basically come together. Like, it's all the similar colors.
It's like embodiment, even though like intent is your mother brand, embodiment is kind of like the top of the branch, and then it's like, it's us, and then it's you and I.
Yeah. When we incorporate, you gotta be like Embodiment Co. or something, and then like the podcast, Embodied Beauty Lounge, Intent Group, and then it's like all of them under the same thing. But it's because like that would be so cool to be like Embodiment Co. Imagine like that. That's just like the overall brand is embodiment.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. That's a big goal.
Okay, that's 2 goals. Okay, do this with me. Let's not have it just be a one-person thing. Do this with me. What's the third?
I would say, so I like the one where you said, I mean, I'd say posting on every platform. We're already going to do that. That's a goal.
I think building our Instagram brand is really important. Right? Like, we only have so many followers, but that's also because we didn't make physical content.
That's because we literally didn't post.
Yeah.
Last time we posted, like, before we started posting consistently with this content that we have, which, by the way, we have a lot of content. So we could post 3 times a day for, like, the next month.
Yeah.
So
we do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know, then we need to do it. Because, like, it's like, and we need to start posting on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and, like, all the...
Yeah.
There's so much that we can do, but we're going to do it. So there's that. There's growing our own personal brands on Instagram and, like, integrating it. Because, like, obviously people come to our personal.
So the first one is downloads. The second one is
building up our personal brand. And then third one... I guess personal brand and embodiment brand are like kind of like intertwined, the same thing. So third one, it really depends on in a year from now. Oh, I think actually third one should be putting ourselves as much out of our comfort zones as possible.
Yeah.
Like getting ourselves out of our...
expanding the...
Like that idea I gave you. Like that idea I gave you. Yeah. Or like there's that one. We could even do like episodes where like... Remember when you said you wanted to have that one night where we just chill, do face masks inside, and like eat pizza, like that? We could just do an episode filming that. Like, like let's just like drink like mimosas and like talk.
Again, that's why I love doing those episodes. Like when we did the one with Shayna and Paulina, I love doing episodes like that because it's conversations we have anyways.
Yeah,
but it's giving us the space to sit there and not sit on our phones or be ADHD about it or be out in public and like getting distracted, and it really gives us that space to actually sit down and go a little bit deeper, right? And sometimes we have those conversations, sometimes we have the surface level ones, but I don't know, I love that. I love those conversations. So yeah.
I think it makes it really special. I think that we try so hard to keep it genuine too. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, we are authentic on the podcast. Like we pretty much say everything except like expose people for the most part.
No, we don't expose people.
Paulina last time on the Friendsgiving.
Okay, but is he ever going to listen to this? Probably not.
I mean, hey, you never know. In the future, when we become call her daddy level. What?
I'm laughing. Oh my god! Did you see? So you know Bobby, right? The podcaster Bobby.
No.
Where she.
Wait, is Bobby one of the call her daddy girls?
No, she talks like this. And she did an interview with Drake, and she did an interview with Offset, and she did one with, oh crap, what was his name? But like, she's really like passive aggressive. Like, talk to me and I'll be Bobby.
Okay. How was your day today?
Why are you interviewing me? I'm interviewing you.
I've seen her
There
before.
you go.
I've
see?
seen her before. I have seen her indeed. Yes. Wait, no, you know what? Doing different. I think what we need to
But
do-
I was gonna say, sorry. The
Yeah.
point of that was, so she had Offset on her podcast, and he roasted the fuck out of her. Like, he carried that whole conversation. Okay, and then I'm on TikTok. I don't go on TikTok a lot anymore, but I've been on it a bit more recently.
Yeah.
Like doing social media, and so I'm on TikTok, and I see Offset on my screen, and he's like mouthing something, and then it goes to the caller dad. What's her name? I forget. Alex.
Oh, Alex. Okay, Cooper. Right.
Alex Cooper. Yeah, it goes to Alex Cooper, and it's Bobby's voice, but she's like doing the voiceover, and she's like talking about that. She's like, that caller daddy girl. And so I saw that video, and I was like, oh my god, is like podcast beef starting? Is this a thing now? Like, but it was so good.
Yeah. I feel like it's funny when you see like.
I love
worlds
that you
integrated.
understood like who Bobby was after I did that. It worked.
No, right as you said that, I was like, oh my god, I have seen those videos before of her saying like acting that way with the guests, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
So no, that is a good way. That was a great way of describing it. But like, I mean, I also think in terms of like that last goal being like just diversifying the type of content do it, because obviously like we do know on
Repeat what
podcasts.
you just said.
I know. I realized that I just spoke way too fast. The third goal.
It's like, what word just came out of your mouth? I can pretend like I know what
You're
you
like,
said.
yeah, yeah. So the third goal should obviously be like creating new types of content, like getting out of our comfort zones, trying new things out. Because like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting the same result, or expecting a different result.
You're insane.
Yeah, I'm insane. I'm crazy.
How do you know you're not insane?
Because did you hear that? Apparently, like people that like look at you like this with their eyes like fully open, apparently.
Goodness, you know what I saw? Have you ever seen that Astro Daddy on your For You page? Because we're both on the spiritual side. Actually,
Do you say show daddy?
no, Astro Daddy.
Maybe.
I'll search
Maybe.
him up. No, kid. The Astro.
Eat it up, beat it up, beat it up. Lisa's pup.
This guy. Have you ever seen him before?
Well, I feel like I have. He looks familiar.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see a photo of him and this girl, and I'm like reading through it. It's about like domestic abuse, and apparently like he got her pregnant, and then he like literally like there's photos of her with like a black eye with a broken nose, and she said like he literally tried to kill her, and he has controlled his content online so much where people can't comment on stuff. I went on his Instagram to see. I went on all of that. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, that popped into my head when you said that.
Oh
but
God.
yeah.
Well, we won't be making that type of content.
No, no. Sorry.
For sure.
On the
You will not
topic-
catch us
On
making
the
that
topic
type
of
of content.
spiritual narcissists.
Yeah, spiritual. I'm like, so we're bringing, imagine, no, you know what? One time we should do a prank where we invite a guest on and we just act rude to them the whole time and see what they do. Like in person. We're like, tell us your story.
Do the Bobby thing.
Yeah, do the Bobby thing and see how they. Because imagine like us sitting there and them being
No,
like,
not that story. No, like
Oh.
your story.
oh yeah, like
Your story.
yeah.
That's not interesting.
That's not okay. But can you be more like actually interesting? Like I'm bored.
I love it.
Like don't bore me right now.
Yo, I love it. Yo, we should get Wangle.
Oh
do
my
that to
god,
them.
he would. I don't know how he'd react. He probably would go with it.
He
Probably
would.
go along with it.
He would.
But okay.
Also, shout out to Wangle, because him and I will go like 2-3 weeks without talking, and not even that. It could be 2 months sometimes. And he'll call me and he'll be like, "So I was talking to this girl on Hinge, and I just need your advice." And he'll read me like the conversation and be like, "Does this sound okay, or is it too much if I say this next?" Like, that's our only form of communication. And I'm like, you know what? I love our friendship. Like,
No, that's so funny because a lot of my guy friends and like some of my girlfriends will text me. They'll be like, I don't know what to say.
It's just so funny.
This person's so fine. Help me. And I'm like,
It's just so funny because it comes out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like no conversation to help me with this. It's like telling me about, should I say I'm going to pull your hair? Like, should I say I'm going to pull your hair?
oh.
Yeah. Anyways,
Okay.
we didn't really name what else. Oops, I don't want to be on your ass, show daddy. So both Michelle and Ryan said growth. So let's quickly do that.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of talked.
Growth.
We've generally talked about it. In terms of the podcast itself, what can you say, or what area of yourself can you say you've seen that you've grown the most over the course of the past year? And it doesn't have to be just like podcast based, but how has the podcast influenced that growth?
Biggest one, 100%, is the ability to hear my voice and not feel cringe.
Really?
I a year ago I used to listen to her podcast, and I was like, oh, my voice is on it. I'm like, ugh, I can't listen to my voice. And now I hear my voice everywhere, and like, because I'm so comfortable with hearing my voice, I post content everywhere now. Like, I film myself, and I'm fully comfortable. Like, people are like, how do you post yourself like so consistently, talking to the camera, doing all this? Like, I cannot. And I'm like, I literally just, I don't care. Like, I just feel comfortable. Like, listen to my voice. I'm like, good, this is a good video. Okay,
And everyone, we get comments about how like you have the perfect podcast voice and everything, right? So that's crazy how you can see that shift or hear that shift.
Yeah, right. What about you? What do you think?
I'd say honestly consistency, right? Because there are a lot of things in my life, or also priorities.
Yeah.
Like consistency and priorities that kind of like go hand in hand. I understand that there are some things that I have to sacrifice other things for, and I used to feel really terrible about that. But now, say if I can't go to the gym or I can't read my book or something because I'm finishing content that I need to put out, I don't feel bad about it. And like before, I would have been like trying to do everything, but like, girl, you gotta go to bed.
You gotta go. No, literally.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of the past 2 days.
So that for me is definitely an area where I've improved personally, and just being consistent in general, right?
Yes, I love it. Love it. And then just think that an opportunity to just reflect a little bit is really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's a good place.
Quickly, we don't want to leave Alan out.
Okay.
So he said purpose, passion, stress management, management, and self-reflection. I think the fact that you and I do this together gives us space to stay passionate about it. Again, before, it's the whole push and pull thing.
Yeah.
1 week, you're really ecstatic about the topic that we're going to talk about. Next week, I'm really excited about us filming in person.
Yeah.
Right? So having each other to bounce off of, and you having your expertise in some areas and me having in other areas, it really enables us to stay passionate and find that purpose in what we're doing and remind each other too, right? Because it is easy. Misery loves company. So it's easy to sit there and maybe be stressed out and then have that stress build from one thing to another thing, and then let it like affect maybe the podcast and having to record and everything. But when you have each other to bounce off of and one person to like keep you in check, and like maybe you're a little bit stressed out and the other person's like, let's just do this. You're like, okay, fuck, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, stress management and self-reflection.
I would say in terms of stress management, I don't have a work-life balance. I don't think either of us have a work-life balance. I think that doesn't exist. In terms of what we do as entrepreneurs, I feel like when I think of stress, I think of, okay, like...
I would even call us creators.
I'd say we're creators. We're creator entrepreneurs. And like, because of that...
Just in the sense that like this is like a creative project.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, right now we're producing something, so we're creating something into the world. And I think that when you are a creator and entrepreneur doing your own thing, like, you do not have a work-life balance because your work is your life. Mm-hmm. And like, because of that, your stress is intertwined with your life, but like, I wouldn't have it any other way. So like I'm happy to be stressed if it means that like it's pushing me forward in terms of getting me to get stuff done. So I just say like stress management. I don't really have stress management because like it's just my life. Like stress is life.
It's the
Counterbalance.
It's the gym.
It's the gym. The gym helps. The gym does help. But on that note, I want to quickly also say another goal we did have prior that we talked about is getting on other podcasts. So if any of you know any other podcasts that you would like us on, please make sure to send them to us, or in fact, just connect us, if you're so kind, to the host of that podcast, and we can see if we can get on there and kind of do a collaboration in that sense.
Yeah.
Because that is something we would love to
What
do.
we should do is we should reach out to Science and Spiritual. We should reach out
And
to
try,
Kevin
yeah.
Carson.
Yeah, well, they'll see how...
Even if it's because they have a lot of people who specialize in certain areas, but we could be the student.
This perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you guys for listening to our 1-year anniversary episode of Embodiment Podcast.
Woo! It's going straight up now. And I was like, I recall.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to the show this week. You can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can write to us at embodimentpod@gmail.com. And if you want to send us a DM, it's at embodiment.pod.
Or if you'd like to follow us or message us personally on Instagram, it's at Emmanuel Series and at Ashley.fry. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Mano.
And you've been listening to Embodiment, who you are behind closed doors. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day, babies. And I am so grateful for you.